welcome back. I think one of the most common questions or concerns I get everywhere, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, I'm not losing weight. What am I doing wrong? So I'm going to give my top 5 reasons you may not be losing weight on keto. And remember, everyone is different, and so some of this may not be the case for some people, but for me, and I know a lot of people, a lot of these reasons are a big factor. Okay, number 1 is the whoosh effect. Now, this is kind of different because it's not that you're not losing weight, but the scale won't be moving. Now, what happens here is when you start to lose fat, your fat cells, your fat cells, we'll say this is your little fat cell. So, when you start to lose the fat, this fat cell is going to say, oh, she's just kidding, he's just kidding. We are just going to fill up with water so this won't collapse. We've been through this a million times. Sooner or later, we'll get carbs and glucose that we're going to have to store. So we're just going to keep this full of water until we get that in. Now, once your cell realizes that you're not kidding and you're not getting any more, that water will collapse that fat cell, and then you'll see the scale start to move. There's a really good illustration picture of this that goes around on the internet, and I'll insert a clip here and you can screenshot it to kind of give yourself a reminder. If you're doing everything right and you feel like something's not right with the scale not moving, it could be the whoosh effect. Okay, number 2 is too much dairy. And I know this is a huge culprit for me. I think one of the biggest reasons that dairy stalls so many people is that certain types of dairy, and especially too much of it, shoots your insulin up, which can cause stalls or even weight gain. So if you're pounding back the cheese, maybe try to go a little easy on it. Don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of my dairy, but I haven't been good about this lately, but I have been trying to do 3 days a week dairy-free, which is actually pretty easy. Okay, so number 3 is too much protein. Now, I'm not telling you to starve yourself from protein, and if you work out a lot, watch your protein. You need that. You need to hit your protein goals, especially so you don't lose your muscle mass. Now, protein in excess can turn to glucose and be stored in your fat cells as well. And I know that a lot of people say that they have problems when they start having too much protein. I don't think I have too much of an opinion on this because I generally am pretty good about not going way overboard on my protein. I do always make sure that I hit my protein goals because that's super important for not losing muscle mass. But I'm not, if I do go over a little bit, I don't obsess about it. But I do try to stay in a good range. Number 4, this might sound a little wrong, but just hear me out. You could be eating too much of the kinds of fats that can't be stored. And I know that sounds weird, but fats like MCT and coconut oil, the medium chain triglyceride oils, can't be stored. So your body has to use those first before it goes to your stored fat. Now, believe me, I eat plenty of fat, but I do try to limit my coconut oil and MCT oil to, a reasonable amount per day. I always put either coconut oil or MCT oil in my coffee, my bulletproof coffee, and that's fine. These are good, healthy fats for you. But if all you're eating all day is just coconut oil on coconut oil, maybe just slow down a little bit on it. Okay, and my number 5 and last reason that you might not be losing weight on keto is not being consistent or not tracking. And I don't want any hate on this. I know that a lot of people do lazy keto, which is not tracking, and that's fine. But I feel like a lot of those people who are having success on lazy keto are really mindful about what they're putting in their diets and into their bodies. Now, I did lazy keto for the first, 3 weeks, maybe a whole month of keto, just so I could introduce myself to lower carbs and my body could get used to that. And then I started tracking. And I gotta tell you, once I started tracking, I was shocked at how much I was eating. I started tracking, I had my food scale, and I tell you, I didn't know what an ounce of nuts looked like. I didn't know what an ounce of cheese looked like, and once I started tracking and logging it, I was just like, wow, I am really going overboard here. For me, when I start to stall is when I am not tracking everything I'm eating, tracking consistently, eating the right foods consistently. Not to say that I've never gone off plan and that I won't again. I mean, I'll eat something here or there that's off plan, but for the most part, I stick to it, and I think that's why I've had success. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope I didn't step on any toes, but for me, these are my top 5 reasons and what I look at when I'm in a stall or I've even gained some. I'll look at this and I'll just try to change some stuff up in my diet. And like I said before, everyone is different. You do this the way that works for you and your body, and don't let anyone tell you that it's wrong. Hope this was helpful. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.